So number 22 says Carlos can travel 40 miles on his motorbike in the same time it takes Paul to travel 15 miles on his bicycle. If Paul rides his bike 20 miles per hour slower than Carlos rides his motorbike, find the speed for each bike. Okay. Now, this should sound confusing until you start working through it, but all of these problems use the basic idea of distance equals rate times time. Do you remember doing those in Algebra 1? Distance, rate, and time? Okay. So the next thing that I would recommend when you do these kind of problems is to set up some sort of summary of the information. And in this case, we have some information about Carlos, and we have some information about Paul. And we want to categorize it as distance, rate, or time. Okay? So let's read through the problem. Carlos can travel 40 miles. So I'm thinking, Carlos, that's a distance. It's 40 miles. He can travel in the same time as Paul. Well, what do you know about the time of Carlos and Paul? They're the same, but do we know what the number is? No, we don't. So it's a variable. We just know that they're the same as each other. Paul can travel 15 miles on his bicycle, so I'm thinking that goes there. And Paul rides his bike 20 miles an hour slower than Carlos. So how could we do that? Do we know what the absolute rate of either one of them is? No. So how do you want to do it? So if Carlos rides at X, Paul would be at X minus 20, like that? Okay. Okay. Well, we kind of want to look through and see what we know. And one of the key things that we know is that the times are equal to each other. So if we take this equation, distance equals rate times time, could we solve this for t? Yeah. You could divide both sides by r, and so the time equals the distance divided by the rate. So this time is that distance over rate, and this time is a distance over rate. And I think we can plug this information here and this information here, and we can get something that we can solve. So this would be 40 over x, and this would be 15 over x minus 20, and I think that's an equation that we can solve. By the way, what kind of method would you use to solve that? Cross multiply would be good. So you would have 40 times x minus 20 and 15x. What next? Distribute. So 40x, and let's see, 4 times 2 is 8, and there's 2 zeros, and then 15x. Nice. What would you do next?
800.
Let's subtract 40x. So negative 800 equals, I think that's negative 25. So negative 800 equals negative 25x. Divide by negative 25. What's that equal to? It's going to be positive. $32. Okay? Cool. So we know, I'm looking for a red marker. I guess I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we know that this rate is 32, and it's miles per hour. And if this is 32 minus 20, this rate would be 12 miles per hour. Okay. What do you think? Any questions? You want to do another one like it? Okay.